If you've got a little case of the Black Friday scaries, you're going to want to listen into today's live and unscripted video. We are talking all about Black Friday, and I happen to be doing a little pep talk. This is the pep talk I give myself before I run a sale or do some sort of launch. For this Black Friday, I am doing a Match My Month sale on the Video Skills Lab. And I'm not going to lie, no matter how many times that I do launches and run sales, and I've been in business, what's crazy is like almost 6 years now. And it's still something that gives me anxiety. It's still something that like I have to still give myself a pep talk, even though I know all the right things and logically it's in my head. So today I want to specifically talk you through three of like my best tips when you're going into sale week, when you're going into launch week. And if you're here watching with me live, because I see we have some of you here live, drop me a hashtag live or hashtag replay. As always, like feel free to drop any questions, comments as we go. So this can be as, interactive as possible. And we're going to get started. So first thing in this little pep talk is, when you have anxiety and you have those scaries hit you, it's easy to take the advice that, it's going to be fine and sort of brush it off or not really like take a deeper look into the emotion that you're feeling. But I want to challenge you to do that. And I want to challenge you when you're starting to feel this anxiety. I want to challenge you to ask yourself 3 questions. So question number 1 is you need to determine if there is actually a problem that needs to be solved. So in question form, is there a problem that needs to be solved? Is there a deeper reason that I am feeling this anxiety other than just, intrinsic anxiety, like pure anxiety, right? So that's the first thing. Like, is there something that needs to be solved? Question 2, are you procrastinating? Like a lot of times anxiety is happening just because you don't have all the emails that should be written done. You know that the sales page needs work. You know that you didn't recruit the affiliates you need to. So are you feeling that anxiety because you haven't done the things you do? And this is very easily solvable if you just put in the work. That's the second thing you need to ask. And then the third thing is like sometimes it is just a feeling, and sometimes it is just something you kind of need to stand with or sit with. So ask yourself, is this just normal? Like, have I done everything? Have I looked deeper into this fear so that I am able to rule those things out? And I want to explain to you how I asked myself those questions very, very recently going into the Black Friday Match My Month sale that I'm running right now. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'll put it like this so that you can see it. And basically, this sale is where I am running on my Video Skills Lab membership. It's usually $9 a month, and when you purchase months, I'm basically matching any time in the lab. So if you buy 4 months, I'll give you 1 month free plus an exclusive coaching bonus. 8 months, you get 2 months free plus 2 exclusive bonuses. It's pretty cool. I linked the info below. I'll talk about it more at the end. But when I was like thinking about this sale and preparing for this, like I did feel a lot of anxiety specifically around like the emailing related to this. And I was like, why am I feeling so much anxiety? Like, what is it about it? And I just kept asking myself why and digging deeper and doing some reflection. And one of the things I kind of came to was I was having a really, really hard time with the idea that like I was going to have to email so frequently, like twice a day or 3 times a day, or even just once a day over the 7 days, like feels like a lot for me. Like I'm not a very, I email like once a week or like every other week. Like I probably should do more, but that's just like my style. That's just how I am. And it works for me. So ramping up, like I had this fear almost that like I was holding people hostage. Like, is that what it's going to be like, that people who want to be on my list are, on my list and they feel like they just have to kind of tough it out, and they have this like hostage like feeling, and they're either gonna unsubscribe when they would have stayed on my list, or they're just gonna be annoyed, and I'm gonna leave a bad taste in their mouth. Let me know in the comments, like, have you had any of those like fears and worries? And so when I thought more about it, I was like, okay, this is not just like anxiety, like this is a legitimate problem I need to solve, right? So the problem being, if people don't want to hear about Black Friday, am I going to hold them hostage, or like, is there another way that I can get around this? So I'm going to share my screen with what I did instead, and I'll make this bigger. This is the email that I sent today. This email was my Black Friday email, and it's kind of small. I'll try to make it even bigger. Okay. This email was my Black Friday email that I sent. It's the first one about Match My Month. And at the top of my email, and this is what I'm going to do for all the emails that I send this week related to Match My Month Black Friday sale, basically just says this email is part of the sale that's happening this week. If you don't want to hear about it, just click here and we'll filter you out of promotion. And guys, I'm telling you, as soon as I added in this one line, this small piece of automation where I didn't feel like I was keeping people hostage, and I didn't feel like I was about to lose all these subscribers because I was just putting them through the ringer when they didn't want any part of it. As soon as I added that, the anxiety went away. I was able to like send this email and feel confident and feel good about it. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that like you're seeing why asking these 3 questions is just such a game changer, because when you do feel that anxiety, it's not always just like a feeling that you have to ignore. Because I tuned into this intuition, because I paid attention to this instinct, I was then able to go and make this change. And this is a change that like I probably should have done for like a lot of my launches and sales. We're always learning, not everything's perfect. And so now moving forward, I think this is something I'll carry into like a lot of the events that I do, and just get a lot more detailed and segmented with my list, who wants things, who don't, who doesn't. So again, if you're having these scaries, I want you to lean into that feeling, lean into the anxiety, and I want you to ask yourself, what problem needs to be solved, right? That's the first question. The second problem, maybe there isn't a problem that needs to be solved and you're just procrastinating. Are you procrastinating? Or do you have everything you need? And then the last thing is, maybe this is normal. Is this just something normal? You have everything you need. There's no problems to be solved. If that's the case, just lean into it and be okay with that as well. So in the comments, let me know. Give me a yes if this is resonating with you. I see a bunch of you guys are here live. Say hey in the comments. I'd love to say hi to you. Let's talk about the second thing in this pep talk when we've got those Black Friday scaries. So the second thing that I tell myself, even 6 years, I told you at the beginning of this, I'm almost 6 years into this online business thing, which is crazy. I quit my job in 2019 to do this full time. And I still every single day operate like every single thing I do is an experiment. So yes, after all this time, there are things that are proven, like the way that I run my events, the way that I've structured certain emails. But when I run something brand new, like a brand new sale, like I don't know how it's going to be received. Like there's always variables that are unknown. So like things that are unknown is like, I don't know how this particular offer is going to be received by you guys, by the audience. I also don't know what everyone else in my competition in this online space is planning that's going to either sabotage or help this. I don't, there's not always things that you can do to control like what's happening in the world, like economically or politically or socially, that like impact what people do in their buying decisions. So like, yes, there's things that are proven and that we know do work, but there's also so much that can sometimes be out of our control. And so we can see that as something that's not very empowering. We can see that as something that is frustrating, or we can see it as something that is just exciting because there's opportunity, right? When we think about experimenting, like, an experiment could fail, but it could like astronomically go well. So it should empower you to feel like you should be able to go all out. And when you have this mindset, and when you're able to go all out on the experiment and you commit, let's say your Black Friday sale is 5 days, or maybe it's just the one day. I'm doing, 7 days, a 1 week sale for Match My Month, whatever that looks like for you, you stick to the plan. So if that means you've committed to going live every single day, that was my commit. I'm going to go live every single day, right? And I'm doing these live and unscripted pep talks and stories this week. That was my commitment during Black Friday. I'm going to do these. I'm going to email every day. I'm going to post every day. And I'm going to make damn sure that I show up. And if I fail, I'm going to fail big. But if I succeed, I'm going to succeed big too, right? There's no in between for me in this experiment. And the reason that this matters is because if I don't go big, if I don't post, if I don't email, if I don't go live, if I don't push this, if I don't do all that stuff, I don't get data. And data is feedback, right? The more people who either do or don't buy, who do click, don't click, who attend, don't attend, it doesn't matter. It's all feedback that I'm going to get. So either I can say, this is a great offer at this time, or it's not. And I'm not going to take it personally, right? Over these last 6 years, I've had many offers that did not do well, many offers that have done very, very well. And I'm not always the best at predicting it. So sometimes I like to think I am very good at predicting some of those things, but I'm not always. So I need to just listen to the data, not take anything personally. And this is why it's so important as a business owner to make sure that like whether it's from like a full-time job that you're working or like from your business, you're not just spending everything, but you have a cash reserve that's there so you don't have to make decisions from a survival mindset, right? Because here's the thing, like if this Black Friday sale for me doesn't go well, it's okay. I'm going to be fine. Like, I hope you guys buy. Like, I hope you guys know, like, I've got a husband and 2 dogs and a baby. And, the Video Skills Lab is amazing and game changing for your business. So, like, I'm not trying to say I don't want you to buy or the benefits and impacts wouldn't be amazing. All I'm saying is if this happened to flop, it wouldn't break me. It would be okay. Right. And I would be okay to look at this as an experiment versus a lot of entrepreneurs that I've met have just put everything and they've spent all of their cash. They don't have any cash reserves. They're not thinking about things in that way. They're making decisions based on survival mode. They quit their jobs too soon and then they're just scrambling. Right. Let me know in the comments, like, is this something that you have experienced before? Is this something that is kind of hitting home? I hope not, but it's okay if it is. Okay, so let me go back to my my little better. So again, everything is an experiment. And I'll give one last little story. When I first started to get into my video strategy business. So when I quit my job in 2019, I quit to be a leadership coach, and I ran that business for over a year. And one of the biggest questions I was getting was, how are you making these lives? And I would love to do these videos just like you. And so I sort of naturally transitioned into video strategy. And one of the first events that I ran to kick off my video strategy business was my signature 7-day live video challenge. I've run it like 16 times since that first time. I've run it so many times, but when I did run it that first time, it was hard. The event was really fun. It was really engaged, but not a single person bought the post challenge offer. I was selling like it was either I think it was a $47 workshop that I wanted people to buy after the challenge was over that would lead to like some of my bigger offers. Like that was my next step at the time. And I was like, this is such an easy sell. And I freaked out because not a single person bought until the final day. I promoted this thing for 5 days after the challenge. And it was not until that last day that anyone bought. And it wasn't one or two people that bought, it was like 20 people who bought on the last day. And can you imagine if I quit on like day 3, if I was like, actually, you know what? We're all good. I'm not going to do this. Like I'm done with it. And like when you treat it like an experiment, you give yourself permission to be detached, where you say, I'm going to continue this. If I committed to 5 days of promotion and that's when the doors close, I'm going to show up every day, going live, posting, emailing every single day. And then I will evaluate the data after. If I hadn't stuck to that plan, if I hadn't stayed detached, that would not have happened for me. So I am so grateful that I did that. And that was probably the biggest lesson in, in staying detached, in treating everything like an experiment. And thank goodness I did, because those like 20 people who bought that workshop then came to that workshop. And a lot of them then went either to become group coaching clients or one-on-one clients for me that like launched this new business. And again, it was just absolutely so huge. So this is your permission to treat it like an experiment, to make sure that you're going big and that you are not playing small on Black Friday and that you are sticking to the plan. All right. Awesome. I see we have some friends here. Hey. Let me know as we go through this. Let me know if you guys have any questions you want me to answer specifically. If you have any fears or anxieties that are coming up for you, let me know so that I can answer them. But we've got one more thing that in this pep talk that I want to share with you. And I see we've got someone saying I'm new here. Ooh, that's fun. Love that. Okay, so final thing. When you're running your Black Friday sale, I want you to trust in your ability to listen to what's happening and adapt. So when I say listen, I mean listen to the numbers. Listen to the open rates and the click-through rates in your emails. Listen to the views and the comments that you're getting on your videos. Listen to the comments that you're getting on your posts, the replies that you're getting from your emails, the clicks that you're getting on your page, how many people are staying on that page. Again, I think I said this already, but the responses to your email, you are listening to all of the data, whether it's like the numbers itself or what people are actually telling you. And yes, you want to evaluate all of that once the event is over, but I also think there is so much value in the moment evaluation occasionally as well. And I want to share an example from this past event that I ran. It was last month. I ran an event here on YouTube called the Video Challenge Jumpstarter. It was a free 5-day event where I helped you build your very own signature video challenge. Right? It's a great event. I'm running it again in January. Let me know. You can just comment video challenge if you want me to send you the link. I can put you on the wait list for it. It was such a fun challenge. It was a free challenge. And I had a lot of people attend. A lot of people, watching the first 2 days and looking at some of the numbers and the responses. The sessions had a 24-hour expiration unless you had purchased VIP. And looking at some of the numbers, I realized I had quite a bit of a drop off on like days 3, 4, and 5, like kind of significant. And like some of the emails I was getting were people who were like, I really wanted to attend, but this, and that came up. And like, I really wish I was able to be there. And part of the VIP ticket that I offered, like had a bunch of bonuses and workshops. And like, there were people who just like couldn't make those times either. And I was just like hearing all this data and feedback. And I was like, you know what? I am going to offer a replay weekend and basically do 48 hours of you can watch unlimited day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 just for the whole weekend. And then unless you purchase VIP, again, it's going to expire once again. So you just have that time. And as you'd probably expect, I did see a boost. And not only did I see a boost in the amount of people who were viewing the actual content, But the more people view the content, the more people take action, the more people then go and buy. So because I did that, because I listened to the moment, I had more clients who ended up joining my new program, the Challenge After Party, as well. But this replay weekend wasn't planned. It was not something that I originally was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go and do a replay weekend. It wasn't part of, it just wasn't in the cards. But again, listening to the numbers, listening to those people, I was able to adapt and put together something that worked for me and worked for my audience as well. So this is just incredibly important. And I will be listening. Same thing this sale around. I am going to be detached and taking action no matter what. But I am also going to be making sure that I watch the numbers. I'm going to make sure that I'm talking to and having as many conversations with people as possible to ensure that I'm just keeping a good read, like sort of keeping my finger on the pulse of how things are going as well. Okay, what questions do you guys have that I can answer? I still have a little bit of time here. Like, what fears do you guys have around your Black Friday sale? Is there anything in particular that I can give you a pep talk on? Like, you can drop it in the comments. Yeah. But besides for that, if you don't know, the Match My Month, this is not the right page, the Match My Month sale is happening. It just started today. You guys have heard me talk about everything that I am doing to give myself this pep talk, but this is what I'm promoting. So the Video Skills Lab is my membership that I run all year long. I've been running it for the last 3 years. It'll be 4 years coming up on March. And essentially it is where I give you live coaching, a library and scripting vault to build an amazing video strategy. And for Black Friday, you are able to basically match the amount of months that you purchase and get some private bonuses. So for example, if you purchase 4 months in the lab, which is, $9 a month, it comes out to $36. I will give you a month free and I will add a bonus. So I'm doing I'm just so excited about this bonus. I created this bonus called the Q1 2026 Event Insider Diaries. Next month is where I'm going to start it. It is basically just a private podcast where I will be basically dropping these weekly videos. And it's going to give you the behind the scenes of exactly how I build my most profitable event. So Go LiveCon, the summit that I've run 3 times and I'm about to run for the 4th time. I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of building Go LiveCon, recruiting the speakers, managing attendees, refreshing all the pages. And I'm also going to give you the behind the scenes of the Challenge Jumpstarter, which I'm running next year as well. 4 months gives you the month extra plus this bonus. 8 months gives you 2 months extra plus that private podcast plus a whole day of private coaching with me. So it's like $230 in value for literally $72. 12 months in the lab, $108, gives you 3 months extra, the private podcast, a day of messenger coaching, and I'm also going to do a one-on-one private review on Zoom. So I personally think this is like a crazy deal. I hope you guys will get in on this. I'll put the link in the comments for you guys as well. And if you are new to the Video Skills Lab, which I know some of you guys said you are new, I've got all of the details on this page as well, which you're able to go through and look through. Yeah. All right. So it was great being here live today. I am going to be live every single day this week, and I'm psyched about it. Like I said earlier, it is part of this series, Live and Unscripted Pep Talks. I'm going through stories and pep talks like today's to spark business momentum, and I'm going to try to be like real and raw and unscripted about like the biggest lessons that I have gotten from this year. It's not just going to be me sharing information, but like real numbers and stories from this year. So that's it for today. If you were here live with me, you can drop me a hashtag live. If you watch the replay, Hashtag replay. And I hope you guys will get in on the Match My Month deal happening this week and ending December 1st.